My faith story begins with my grandmother. Ever since I was little, I can always remember her making it so clear that the Lord and the relationship that she had with the Lord was the most important thing to her. I mean, besides her grandchildren, and the family that she has. But I remember being little and coming to her with issues, and any issue that I came to her with, she would say, "Well, honey, just pray. Pray to the Lord and ask him, talk to him, pray to him, and he will answer your prayers." So I can remember ever since I was little having conversations with my grandma about the Lord, and none of them really stuck with me until a few years later. My mother's Catholic, so I was raised in the Catholic Church. I did my communion in the Catholic Church. And growing up, my faith never really felt like it was mine. It felt very forced. And I never really had an interaction with the Lord to where I knew that he was real until well after my communion, well after the conversations I had had with my grandma. So my faith really started the summer before I went to college, which was the summer of 2022. So there was one specific incident that really made me realize that the Lord is real and that he speaks to us and that he's so present in our lives. And so I went to the beach with three of my friends. We had planned to go on this hike. It was in San Luis Obispo. So if you know San Luis Obispo in California, it's got the beach, but there's also mountains, and there's hiking that you can do, and there's these trails that you can do. And so we parked in this parking lot, and we decided that we were going to leave the car and we were just going to continue walking and go along a trail. We didn't have a map, and I'm a very type A person. I like to have a plan. If we're going to go on a hike, I like to have it mapped out so that we can make sure we get to where we need and we can get back to the car. Well, on this hike, we just kind of decided, let's just walk and see where it leads us. We'll end up at the ocean and we'll just figure it out when the time comes. And so I was uncomfortable with this, but all of my other friends were like, it'll be fine, it'll all work out. So I was like, you know what, okay, we'll go on this hike, we'll go to the ocean, and everything will work itself out. The whole hike, I was worried that we weren't gonna be able to find we weren't gonna be able to find the car, which is where we had originally parked after we were done at the beach. But fast forward to having to hike back up to the parking lot, there were two options: a staircase and going back up the trail that we had just come down from. And I thought that we needed to go back up the trail. We needed to follow the steps that we came down to make sure we got to where we needed to. And one of my other friends, she was like, let's just take the stairwell. Like, we don't know where it's gonna lead, but let's just take the stairwell. So we all decided, okay, we were gonna take the stairwell, and I had no idea where it was gonna lead. They had no idea where it was gonna lead, but we decided, let's take the stairwell just to see. Well, we took the stairs, and as we're walking, we're looking at the beautiful ocean in the background, and it was beautiful. It was so scenic, so surreal. We continue walking, and as soon as we get to the top of the stairs, there was the parking lot. There was our car. And I know it doesn't seem like a very profound story, and it doesn't seem like if you were in this situation that it would be anything special. But in that moment, I was getting ready to go to college, and something that was weighing on my heart so heavily was finances and how I was going to pay for college. And I truly felt in that moment that the Lord was speaking to me. I felt like we had gone on this hike and we had ended up down by the beach, and we had no idea how we were going to get back to the car. No idea how we were going to get back to where we started. And we took a stairwell that we didn't know was there. I didn't know that was going to be an option for us to get back to the parking lot. I didn't even know that the stairwell was going to lead to the parking lot. And yet we made that decision to go up on the stairwell, and the stairwell led exactly to where we needed. And I remember leaving the parking lot and driving to wherever we were going next and just staring out at the beautiful green mountains. And I so strongly felt that the Lord was speaking to me, that he was telling me, Kiley, don't worry how you're going to pay for college. I am going to have that figured out. I will make a way where there is no way. And in that moment, it was it was one of those Holy Spirit moments where it's so hard for me to sit and explain to someone how I felt in the moment, but I truly felt like I need to stop worrying about this. I need to stop worrying about how I'm going to pay for college, and I need to trust the Lord is going to lead me down the right path, and he's going to lead me down the right path for his name's sake, and that he will take care of everything, and everything is going to fall into place. In the future, I still am not sure how I'm going to pay for college, and that's something that I struggle with a lot, and I really stress about it. But I have to remind myself of that experience that I had, and truly trust that the Lord is going to take care of that part. He will open a door that is going to give me the means to pay off my college debt. And that moment in time was the first moment I had truly felt that the Lord was speaking to me, and that he was so real, and there was no denying the fact that he was real, and he loved me, and he was present in my life. And so fast forward, that week I came home from that beach trip, and I submit my enrollment fee to Pepperdine University, which is where I did my first year of college. And my first year of college, I met my then roommate. Her name is Nicole, and she's a Christ follower, and she really taught me what it looked like to have a faith, as well as my other friend, which was also my suite mate, which was a girl that I lived with at Pepperdine. Her name was Ruth. And seeing the two of them and how they had their faith really inspired me to develop my faith. And it was in my first year of college that I really started to pursue the Lord and go to church. And I won't say that I was completely 100% into it, but I was going to church some Sundays, and I was, being more curious about my faith. I wasn't fully into giving my life to the Lord and laying everything at his feet, but I was definitely trying to read my Bible, and I was going to church, and I was starting to develop my relationship with Christ. That lasted about a year, and then fast forward to the summer of 2023, I had a rough summer. I lost a best friend, and I thought, she didn't die. There was just an incident that happened, and we no longer were friends. It was sudden, and it was shocking, and it was painful, to say the least. And that summer, I decided I was going to transfer from Pepperdine University to Texas Christian University, because I wasn't the biggest. I just didn't feel like I belonged at Pepperdine, and I felt a calling to move to Texas, and specifically Fort Worth and TCU. So I decided that spring semester of my first year of college that I would transfer, and I knew I was going to transfer to TCU. So when the summer came and I lost my best friend, and I was getting ready to move to an entirely different state with not knowing anybody and being completely in a new environment, I was a little bit scared. And fast forward to August when I moved in, it was very difficult. Moving to a different state by yourself, in college, no family, just had gone through an event that really affected me, I would say. Definitely made me feel like I had no one. Like I had no one there to be there for me. I felt like I was alone. And I truly felt like in that season of my life, there was no other option but to call out and cry out to the Lord. And he was the only person I had. And so I want to say in maybe October or September, I fully gave myself to the Lord, and I made it a priority every day to read my Bible. I started attending a church called C3 Fort Worth that I absolutely fell in love with. And last year at around October, September, November, that time I truly devoted my life to the Lord. I made it a priority to say, Lord, use me. I want to be your disciple. And since then, I feel like I have developed such a strong relationship with the Lord. I am so blessed that he chose me to pursue, that I was chosen to be his disciple, and that he was so kind enough to say, I want you to be in my kingdom. I don't know. It's hard for me to express into words what my faith is to me, because it surpasses my understanding. I can't comprehend the love the Lord has for me. I can't comprehend his ways, but I know that he is real. I know that he has a calling over my life, and I'm trying to figure that out right now. I'm graduating college a year early, and I've been struggling a little bit with trying to figure out what my purpose is in life and what my next steps are going to be post grad. And I'm really learning to trust that the Lord is going to take care of that, not only in the financial aspect, but also in how I'm going to serve others and how I'm going to serve him in the future. And just really trusting that he has a plan and that he's going to take care of me because I'm a child of God. And so I am so thankful that I truly gave the Lord my life last year in the fall. Because he has changed my outlook on life. He's changed me as a person. I have a different heart than I had prior to finding the Lord. And I am so thankful for the experiences that I've had and the journey that the Lord has brought me along, because I know that everything that I've experienced is for a purpose, and he has a purpose for that. And so I'm kind of just in a spot right now where I'm learning to trust him, and I'm learning to grow with the Lord, and I'm learning to take it day by day and really focus on my relationship with him in order to serve him and serve others around me in the best way that I can. And so yeah, that is my faith story, and I hope that you'll share your faith story as well.